So back over here, I want to say mp dot, or rather sm selection 1 equals mp dot sm system sam init. Alright. So that essentially finishes the movement system there. For the player, anyway. We'll still have to automate it for the wingman and hostile. So, ship player move. Alright, so we got that in there. I'm going to work on that later. I think that's going to be all that we'll do for today for recording. Decided just a little bit of recording. Just to kind of go over what's been done so far. And just do a little bit of programming while recording. So, now that's been accomplished. I'm going to go ahead and stop recording. I'll be recording a little bit more as the week unfolds here. But hopefully it won't be anything quite like what happened in February where I recorded like 20 hours. It'll be a little bit longer than the last couple of developers' vlogs, but it's not going to be that much longer, I don't think, than normal. Or at least I'm going to try not to make it that much longer. So, I hope you enjoyed the videos. I'll be back recording some more of this later on, but for now, this is GOL, and I will see you then. Hi everyone, this is GOL from Productions², and today we are going to continue, or rather conclude, the 7th developer's vlog for Space Crusade. So the task today is going to be working on the AI for battle processing, for ship-to-ship battles. Let's go ahead and see where everything stands as of now. And then we can figure out what we need to do with the code. So essentially what has to happen here is that the way this processes is going to be fundamentally different, I guess, from how we do it with the player. There's going to have to be various checks and balances, if you will. For example, we want to be able to check if the hostile ships or player wingman ships are within range to attack. We don't want to have them attacking if they're not in range to use at least one of their weapons. So, and that's different from the player because we want to have the player be able to miss. But for the hostiles to save CPU power, we want them only to attack if they have at least one weapon that's within the range that it can be used in. that means we'll have to do some checking within the actual battle loop here for that. So let's go ahead and start with, let's see. I just will do the main hostile first, because with that, that'll kind of trickle down through everything else. Or shows the way we could do it like we did with the damage class. So we wouldn't have to have essentially three huge blocks of code. We could just do one function for everything. But that's not really going to work out this way. So it's just going to have to be, for the moment, until I think of a better way to do it, it's going to have to be code intensive. Since I'm not really doing this in a traditional sense of software engineering, because there's not really a deadline I'm aiming for or have to meet, since I'm just doing this on my own. No publisher or anything to have me by the short hairs to try and force me to release the game by a certain date. We can do it this way, but in traditional game development, you'd have a specific due date that the game is due by, or that a version of it's due by, and this method that I'm doing wouldn't really work very well. So what we need to do is start on this. So the first thing we need to do is, well, we should start through the whole process, not just from here, but because we need to figure out what's needed and how that will. And there's multiple places that we need to actually work on. It's in here, the hostile initialization stuff, which also ties into the ship and the entity classes, and as well as probably some of the other ones as well. But and damage probably too, because we'll have that. Well, no, we'll have that. That'll be a part of the battle firing solutions for hostiles and player wingmen. I'm thinking about changing that from wingman to squadron. It just sounds, I think, better than that. Or maybe we'll leave it as wingman, but in game, I will reference to as squadrons. But I'd rather keep everything the same name between the game and actually in the game and what the code is, just for clarity's sake. I don't want to do that now though, but eventually that's what's going to happen with that. For now though, let's go ahead and take a look at. Let's go add this a little bit more methodically than not. So. Alright, so got the R code, random S code, and RK code. That's all going to H setup and M hostile. That is in the entity class, which is not open, I don't think. No. Alright, let's get entity open. Alright, M, let's see, hostile, where are they were hostile, okay, so, actually I had it commented off. Alright, so we're going to have to rethink how we do this entirely. We're not going to be using enumerations anymore, so the way I had this going is pretty much shot. At least I think it is. let's see, web development. Web console skill light. Alright, so we're looking for the race data. Okay, now so it's all in there. All 7 of the current races. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 now. Alright, so before the original way we had it was with numbers, just a regular numbered case. Then I decided to do enumerations so I could actually use strings in the case to make it, again, for clarity's sake, just for that. But I guess we have these here and that works. So we're going to change this back to init. So our code let's see. Back to battle processing really quick. So yeah, 1 to 7. I'm not going to do a default on this. Well, that's not standard procedure, if you will. Just have to do it that way. If you're watching this video as part of, like, sometime whenever in the future I release the game, if you're watching this video to see the code and how to change things or add things, this is where you would add in additional ranks for this particular process here. Because if we add a rank, you will have to go into the code and add, in new cases for for those ranks. That's interesting. We have 10 ranks? I thought we had 9. I guess it's 0 to 9. 1, 2, 3. No. Alright, there's only 9. I screwed up on the numbering again. Set it in a different way. Alright, so okay, it's back. Now I gotta do, wasn't there one more? No, I guess that isn't. There was another one that we had done a certain way, but I don't think it was, I think it was the diplomacy stuff. You can deal with that later. Alright, now what we have to do get entity race. No, it's not how it's going to go. So let's go back to message processing. So we have to go to our data. So r ds.r data. Table will be race data. Select from, and then our code. And get erase, which is get entity erase. So now we need to go back and add that into the system, because obviously I haven't done that yet. So you see how many changes this has gone through. Just tons. This particular file. I'll probably assume that'll be more. So I'll have to go through and add this header to a lot of the, or file header to a lot of the header files. So what we need to do now is we need to add a new thing here to get the race, or see if there is a way to get it yet, which I don't think there is. Or it has to be planet data search. Well, this will work for our stations too, because technically the stations will be owned by entities. So it won't be, and entities won't be part of the station class anyway, but it'll make logical sense within the code. It doesn't have to make direct sense, but if it makes logical sense, then that also works. So entity data search functions. Alright. So string get erase. Alright, let's go back to our data here. Race data's there already. Cool. So get see results. Alright. So yeah. Then we just have to create the function to return that information. In data system. I'll put it above this just so it is above it. We'll have to go back there and reorder all the functions and stuff to mimic the way they are in the header file. That'll be like towards the end or something. But string data system. Get erase. Turn races dot at 0 dot rname. Okay. So now all we have to do is really just copy and paste this over what's here, and it'll be the same for each one because we're just using the R code as the variable that changes. Everything else is static. We don't even need to use a switch though, do we? That's true. That's no longer needed. This entire switch is not needed because the R code is what changes, and so yeah, we can replace about 40 lines of code. Actually, 41 lines of code with just one. So that's pretty good. And here we'll be replacing even more. So ds.r data rank data So back over to data system. Let's see. So yeah, it's ranked data. Then we need to add that in as well. So again, it's a string. Get rank. Early. Maybe because it is ranks. The placeholder class. Yeah, ranks. Again, that's all we really need to do because everything else on the back end's already been done for ranks and everything else. So, that's done with that. Okay, now we go to the init ship. Excuse me. Which is also not open. So with this, we're still doing let's see. Okay, so we're still doing all those calls. We don't need to pass the S code. I don't know why it's still showing up as an... Oh, there it goes, okay. IntelliSense is taking a while to update. So here we just need to do one thing, which is to set up the ship data, if you will. So, our data, or DS to our data, ship data, select from, and then S code. Jeez. Alright, let's go and get rid of the rest of these. And this is true for both players and hostiles. Cost. I think though what we did was we decided we're gonna have the entity. Let me see if this is the case or not. Where is entity.h? Huh. That's interesting. Maybe I accidentally closed it. I thought I had an idea about... Yeah, see here, we got this is for... Oh no, that's not it. But it could be used for it. Yeah. Okay, so for the hostile's not going to use the ship. It'll be based on the ship's value, but it'll also be in addition to that. It's not just going to be the rewards will all just be based on what their ship is worth. So what we need to do is essentially just take this out. So that's not going to be part of this anymore. And really, then we don't need to use the hostile because that's not going to be used anymore at all. So we just take that out, go over to entity, take out this, and we'll take that out of here. Surprisingly, IntelliSense isn't caught up yet. But alright, get that done now. So back over here,